Welcome back to the Bible Story series. Time flies. It has been a full 40 years since the Exodus. The old generation that grumbled in the wilderness has fallen, and now, standing on the east bank of the Jordan River, ready to enter the Promised Land, is a brand new second generation of Israelites. Leading them is Moses, now 120 years old. Although his eyes are not dim and his strength is not abated, he knows his mission ends here. God will not allow him to cross the river. In the final month of his life, this great leader gathered all the people to deliver the last and longest speech of his life. This is the book of Deuteronomy. As Moses began to speak, he sounded like a concerned father, reviewing every bit of the past 40 years. He earnestly reminded everyone, "Be careful that you do not forget the Lord your God." He recounted the earth-shaking scene of the Ten Commandments at Mount Sinai, and he mercilessly reopened old wounds, mentioning their parents' betrayal with the golden calf and the tragic lesson of the 12 spies. Moses emphasized repeatedly, "You stand here not because you are better than your fathers, but purely because God keeps his promises and because of his love for you. Do not repeat the same mistakes." Next, Moses delivered the most important core command of the entire book and indeed the entire Old Testament. In Hebrew, it is called the Shema. He said, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength." The law is no longer just cold clauses written on stone tablets. Moses required them to carve these words on their hearts, bind them on their hands, and wear them on their foreheads. Whether at home or on the road, they were to teach them to their children. Because faith is not a once-a-week ritual, but wholehearted love and relationship. As the speech neared its end, the atmosphere became incredibly solemn. Moses placed a life-or-death multiple-choice question before them. Pointing to two mountains in the distance, Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal, he said, "See, I set before you today life and prosperity, death and destruction. If they obeyed God's word, they would be blessed when they came in and blessed when they went out. If they turned away to worship idols, they would be cursed and even driven from the land, scattered among the nations." This was not a threat, but the most sorrowful warning from a prophet who foresaw the future. The choice was in their hands. Having said all this, Moses wrote down the book of the law and gave it to the priests. He laid his hands on young Joshua, passing the heavy responsibility of leadership to him, encouraging him to be strong and courageous. Finally, Moses climbed Mount Nebo alone. Standing at the summit, God allowed him one last look at the promised land he had dreamed of but could never enter. This great leader, who led the Israelites out of Egypt, across the Red Sea, and delivered the law, died there on the mountain, and God buried him personally. The era of Moses had ended, but the story of the Israelites was just about to turn a new page.